Start, James.
ఎవరు?
Yeah, Lakshmi Prasad garu.
లక్ష్మీ ఓకే. పివి గారు ఒకటండి, ఈ అసెంబ్లీ
In
లోక్సభ
English,
ఎలక్షన్.
can you put that in English, please? Because
Okay.
our audience is all over.
Sorry. See, PV took full responsibility to hold the elections in Punjab. Punjab state was in president's rule. Lok Sabha elections were tailed by him because of a lot of irregularities that have taken place. He cancelled them, and he gave a directive to the army that steps must be taken to ensure the conduct of elections as early as possible. He reviewed the situation in November itself, and he saw that the Assembly and Lok Sabha elections were held, in which 12 out of 13 Lok Sabha seats have gone to the Congress. And again, Assembly also, Congress got a majority. And taking advantage of the two good things, he also conducted municipal elections in September itself. And the next thing he did was he also extended the elections to the panchayats in a few months. He played a very crucial role in restoration of normalcy and entrusting the elected people the responsibility to govern the state. See, his contribution to the restoration of normalcy in Punjab was much, much greater than economic reforms he brought to the country. Because but for this, we do not know where would have been.
Agreed, sir. Agreed. 100%. So Navdeep ji, you want to add anything to that?
No, let others also speak, and if you give me,
Yes, we'll come back.
Yeah.
No, I think the only thing I would like to add is that I think the biggest point of view in that was that a lot of people in Punjab at that time were really, really fed up of the kind of the atmosphere that was there for a very, very long time. And that kind of stopped the steam of the support that the people of the Punjab were giving to the militants. Because originally, when this whole militant movement started, they did a lot of good things. They said that if anybody is getting married, you cannot take more than 11 people. Why does the girl's family has to spend all that money? They were asking, come to a wedding, come with 11 people and stop giving dowry. The original militancy movement had a lot of these good things that we started. And then somewhere along the line, it just got hijacked, had political reasons. A lot of people don't know that son Jarnail Singh Bhindranwala was actually working with Indira Gandhi before. He was the one who Indira Gandhi was trying to show and portray that, okay, this is the religious part of the Punjab and he's a religious head. And when the Akalis became too strong, he was actually giving full support to Jarnail Singh Bhindranwala at one point, where he stood up and became famous with all the support from the Congress side. And then it got up to the point where he just became too powerful. And he went ahead and says, okay, now I am the base, I'm the power in Punjab and I'm going to take it over. And he completely ignored Indira Gandhi and everybody else. And a lot of people in the same thing don't know, which I want to point out is Lieutenant General Brad, who was authorized and went in. Lieutenant General Brad and son Jarnail Singh Bhindranwala were from the same village. They had the same last name, Brad, and actually they were coming from the same village. So Indira Gandhi did play politics by picking somebody from the same village where he belonged to have them fight against each other, which a lot of people do not show, and the media never shows these things either.
True.
But eventually, bring it peace. I think PV did play a very, very big part in doing something which all the rest of the people before him never did that.
Right. I mean, when PV was trying for these elections, everybody from all the advisors, you name the advisor, that advisor said no elections. But it was, as Lakshmi Garu said, it was his own personal decision, saying that, okay, let's move the people, let's involve the people of the place to rule themselves. I mean, the self-rule is what makes the peace. And that was the same thing that Abraham Lincoln used to say, that the rule should always flow through the votes and not through the barrel of guns. And the power should go through the vote. And therefore, this north-south divide that USA had, it was able to be prevailed because of the people's participation in that. So maybe he had that inclination. He's a well-read person, P.V. Narasimha Rao. So maybe he included that perspective also, because anybody who is taking decisions, right? So what will happen is, when you take a decision, if it turns out good, they will say you are good. When it turns out bad, then people will all over the place they'll come back and say, I told you, you're stupid, you did this, and all those. So to give that credit, and also Beyond Singh is a Sikh Jat. So Navdeep, Sikh Jat, is that a very powerful caste among Jats? I mean,
Well,
Sikhs.
out of whatever I mean, Guru Nanak Dev Ji never wanted this caste system to be there, but somehow it stayed there and it lingered on. So in Punjab, the Jat Sikh is the one which is the one who is having all the land holdings. Typically, the big farmers all are Jat Sikh farmers. They are the one which was the bigger size of land. They were the one who were doing big chunk of the farming in Punjab. So that was the part of the reason that the Jat Sikh farmers were more richer and they have more influence in the politics than the rest of the people. So that the reference of Jat Sikh is like a big landholder. That's what the Jat Sikh is. Yep.
Right. So with the feudal, I mean, Jat Sikh is more like a feudal system where a lot of landlords will go in one way once the Beyond Singh says something. So that also played a crucial, I mean, it's not a great way of coming to the peace storms, but at least you have these feudal system in place, so that the people who are working for that Jat Sikhs, once a lot of Jat Sikhs coalesced together behind Beyond Singh, then they had a lot of these workers who were also behind the Jats landlords, who enabled themselves to wean away from the terrorism. What do you say?
I mean, my perception on that is that population that you're talking about was never involved in this whole.
Right. No, I'm talking about the workers who were working for those Jat Sikhs.
That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about the same workers. That strata of the society was never involved in the Khalistan movement. It was never wanted Khalistan, or did want or not want. They had like no status. That they were completely not isolated from this. So Beyond Singh somehow came into the power because at that time he was the Punjab PPC president. He did came into power, and he had a good equation with KPS Gill. So that's the reason both of them worked that well. But my point again was that they killed so many innocent people at that some point that was the reason Beyond Singh was assassinated too.
Okay. So Ravindra, you have any inputs?
Yeah, means but my main thing why they could able to quell the movement is Sikh as a religion. They are not offenders. They are mostly defenders, and they are very brave the way they do things, right? So they were actually fed up during the same time, like 10 years, and their life is not going anywhere. So when this kind of election was all offered, they took it very gracefully, and they just moved on. So that's how they brought the normalcy into their life, right? Whereas even though we are trying a lot in Jammu and Kashmir, that's not happening, right? So popular support was not there for this Khalistan movement. And second thing is, in this modern democracy, there is no place for the religious like Khalistan or Sharia law, or there is no place for all these things. Okay, so that way they whatever the decisions they made of accepting the peace, that worked out very well for the Punjabis on that. So PV and their team, they did a very good job here, definitely. And the president's rule for a long term will only make people more unhappy, and it will actually bring more extremism into the society, because of the curb on the media, or the curb. They have a lot of restrictions, right, for the people to express themselves. So everything worked out well, and kudos to PV on this as well.
Yes, sir. Lakshmi Garu.
Prakash Garu, I want to say one thing. I had a good association with Punjabis for a long time. As a student, I was part-time NCC instructor in Usmania Medical College, and my immediate boss, was Bian Singh, a Sardarji. I've seen him from close quarters, how they work. I had also occasion to deal with a lot of Punjabis as a journalist in Hyderabad. See, Punjab people are most mobile people next to Keralites. They are most hardworking. They are best farmers. They are brave warriors. But see, unfortunately, because of their mobility, they are not confined to any particular area. They are not segregated people. See, they were playing a very crucial role in Indian politics too. A Punjabi was the president. A Punjabi was one of the finest speakers of the Lok Sabha. And Punjabis were heading the armed forces. You name any armed force in India, any paramilitary force, they are in large number. They are not confined only to India. They have also been holding good positions in these, hard workers, as a hard workers and brave warriors and all the world over.
Yeah, Canada has a lot of Sikh
See,
population.
their channel has not been properly utilized. It is the weak, I would say, if separate Punjab was not created, this, such a law and order problem would not have arisen in Punjab at all. And the creation of Punjab has led to instability in the state. See how many times the state was under president's rule.
So this is more like a counterintuitive. Navdeepji, what Lakshmi Garu is saying is that the Punjabi community is spread across the length and breadth of India. So by creating the Punjab state as a separate state, then a lot of people started having that ill will or curbing of the. Well, how do you?
It led to more problems.
No, I think my counter to that is that I'm talking just being a Punjabi.
Yes.
See, the reason was that when the partition of India happened, I think Punjabi population was the most impacted one.
Yes.
There were other religious groups that were affected too, but I think the biggest impact that came was the Punjabi population. So they were kind of the one who lost the most, lost all their belongings, lost everything. Big chunk of the population had to move from the Western Punjab in Pakistan right now to the Eastern Punjab, which was here. Then during the whole partition, when Master Tara Singh was the one who started the whole Punjabi Suba and everything else associated with that during the partition. And he was the one who was kind of representing the Sikhs when the whole partition and everything else was like Ravindra was saying before, that this whole thing had a lot of back issues before, where a lot of things were promised to the Sikh community during the whole transition period of when the partition of Pakistan and Bangladesh happened, but none of it the moment Nehru became the prime minister, he just kept dilly-dallying it, changing stance, or he kept shifting the things, that everything that was promised by Vallabhbhai Patel and everything else, who sat with Master Tara Singh during the whole partition period, that the interest of the Sikhs will be taken care of, and they will not need a separate state on their own, and the India will absorb them, and everything, whatever we promise, we will give it to you. But that didn't happen, and that was the reason Master Tara Singh started the whole Punjabi Suba revolution during that time. And then they adopted the Anandpur resolution in 1972, where they say that, okay, these were the things that were promised to us back in 1947, but you kept chopping out of, I mean, first it was the Punjab was Western Punjab and Eastern Punjab. It was a very big land. Then they chopped half of Pakistan away. Then they chopped the rest half came to India of Eastern Punjab. Then it chopped more portion of Himachal out of it. They gave a portion of it to Rajasthan, gave a portion of it to Haryana. So just look at it like being as a Punjabi from like
the part is taken away from you.
Yeah,
And Prakash,
and
you
then
have
you
to-
gave them Punjab, and then you said, "Oh, this is Punjab," but now Punjab doesn't even have the original 5 rivers that he had, for which is his name for, does not even belong to it.
Okay.
So,
yeah, Prakash, and the second thing you have to understand is right now, whatever India is facing, majority of the issues are from Hindi belt issues only. Okay, even Punjab versus Hindi is a very big deal. Used to be in 60s and 70s because of the same language issues. In the south, it was a different repercussion. In the north, it was different. Okay, so Punjab suffered because of this movement also. Okay, you have to consider that as well.
So unfortunately, we are coming to our end of the discussion, and so for 1 minute, if you want to say anything, the forum is open. Lakshmi Garu, start with yourself.
Okay, I mean, I
1
spoke a
minute.
lot. Yeah, yes. Thank you very much for the opportunity given. And one thing I want to repeat, I mean, I should make it clear. I was not against the creation of Punjab state, but the way in which it was handled,
yes.
the creation of the state, that led to the more and more problems.
True.
See, we have seen in Andhra also what's happened.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
See, the
Very
creation
simple,
of
Prakash.
smaller states that has created more problems.
Yeah.
Ultimately, yeah, I had. I mean, I think I spoke collaboratively because I had the advantage of being a journalist and closely associated with the style of working of PV as CM and also as Prime Minister. I was a journalist in 1970,
So
and
in
Prakash
three
Patel
words-
was my colleague.
in 3 sentences, if you have to say these were the qualities of PV that changed the whole thing, what would you say?
I would say restoration of democracy in the country.
Democracy.
See,
Okay.
yeah, democracy. I mean, see, democratic institutions should be given their due, and he has not only done for Punjab, he has also ensured in the entire country that the local body elections must be held to get the, I mean, economic juice to the different states. He never said that you must hold elections. See, the funding of the states depends on the states holding local body elections.
Right. That's true. That's true. So
See,
now
he was
yeah.
more, because he's a grassroots leader. And his experience of working in different ministries, defense,
Yes. Yes.
external affairs, human resources, home ministry, this all helped him to achieve his goal. But unfortunate is, he never claimed much of his successes,
Much of it.
or he claimed credit for any of the great contributions he made to the society. And
Yes.
no, I mean, explain what he has done to the society.
Yes. Yes.
See,
So
how many people spoke about Punjab, his contribution to the Punjab restoration of normalcy? See, today, how many times did we hear anywhere in the world or in our own country his
true.
contribution to the Punjab or to the nation? It's not confined to Punjab alone. Whatever he did in Punjab had a bearing in the entire country.
True, sir. So, Navdeep, if you have to tell about PV, I mean, something about PV that you think really made a difference to Punjab, what would you think is that?
I think just not only Punjab, I think overall India, I think the other master stroke that he played was that he made Manmohan Singh as a finance minister,
Hmm.
which was a surprise because he was not a politician at all.
Right.
So which kind of tells a little bit more in depth of the mind of PV Narasimha Rao, that he was not he was a politician, but apart from that, he was a very well-read, learned, and intellectual politician, which is very different from all the rest of the politicians that you see in India. That he had the thought process that he went ahead and picked a real finance guy who has no political background to come and pick him up, and all the things that you see in India now, and none of this would have happened if both of them had not worked together and did all the things that they did for those 4 or 5 years. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it was a big team effort, and Manmohan Singh is at the forefront of it. Amazing. So, Ravindra, you have any?
Yeah, means I rate PV Narasimha Rao as one of the greatest prime ministers India ever had. First of all, as Lakshmi Prasad Garu said, he is a grassroots level leader. Second thing is, what I observed was before PV, it was all South Indians, lack of jobs. They used to move to North India for doing jobs. Actually, after PV, that is the master stroke, is what Navdeep ji is saying. Manmohan Singh reforms and all, right? Now the reverse migration happened. Majority of the jobs were created in South, and a lot of South Indian and North Indians migrated to South. So, and everybody like you and me staying in US and talking on this particular call, all thanks to PV, right? And also, most importantly, I consider the way he quelled the separatist movements. That shows his great leadership everywhere, and he set an example to all the Northeast states how to quell those separatist movements and all. So that way, I strongly recommend him for the Bharat Ratna for sure for PV.
So, Navdeep, would you recommend him for Bharat Ratna?
Well, if you want to give it to a politician, I guess out of all the politicians in India, I would rank him much higher than all the rest of the politicians that happened in India.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Prakash Garu, I want to add only one thing to what Navdeep said.
Yes.
See, he has not only picked up Manmohan Singh as his right choice as the finance minister, he did not allow him to go.
Yeah, Manmohan Singh wanted to resign.
He wanted to resign.
That's correct.
He made him to continue.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I think the final nail in the coffin in Punjab movement was making Manmohan Singh becoming a prime minister for 10 years. I think that changed the whole mindset actually. Being a minority who became a prime minister to India for 10 years. And all those 10 years, right, the Indian economy was growing at almost 9 to 10%. Yeah. And now you see, I think ours is negative growth. I think it will continue for some more years. But I think Manmohan Singh also deserves to be a Bharat Ratna, no doubt. I don't know why just PV, but I find him to be a very honest and very academic and very methodological in the way he handles the financial situation.
Okay. Thanks, folks. Thanks for the thanks, panelists, for giving us a very good time and your precious time. So, as a closing remark, I would say that PV Narasimha Rao is like Abraham Lincoln for India. He actually integrated Punjab close to India. Otherwise, we wouldn't have seen Punjab as another state, because of so much of atrocities have happened on common folk, and still they have turned around, and they are in the forefront of everything in all spheres of India. Kudos to the Sikh community, and kudos to all the people who forgave the Indian government and atrocities on them, and they are now the jewel of India. Having said that, PV had the character and quality to repose faith on the Sikh community and give them the political power, give them the political freedom. And that's how things started to turn. And within 2-3 years, the 10-year burning of state, suddenly within 2 years, it stopped. And even though the killings were happening, the major killings were not there. And as Navdeep said, it could have been because of the underhand tactics of KPS Gill. But overall, we have to give credit to PV for changing the vision, mission, and creating a peaceful Punjab. So thank you, folks. Thanks a lot. We'll meet next time.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prakash.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Everybody. Nadeep, Ravinder, and all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.